Steel builds the modern world. Bridges, hospitals, railways, even wind turbines. But steel doesn't just appear out of thin air. It starts with metallurgical coal, and Alberta happens to have some of the best deposits of it anywhere on Earth. So when environmental activists say Alberta shouldn't develop its coal resources, I have to say something pretty simple. Alberta digs coal. We're proud of it. And if you agree with me, sign the petition at albertadigscoal.com. You know a song. If you grew up anywhere near the oil patch in this province, and you know I did, you've heard this song. Imagine it's 4 a.m. outside of some extended stay hotel in Grand Prairie or Bonnyville or Fort McMurray or Drayton Valley. There's frost on the windshield of a diesel pickup warming up before shift, and blasting out of the speakers, Roughest Neck Around.
And he's drilling by the inch, and he's hauling on the winch, taking fuel from the tanks on a short chain shift. You better hire him on, he's the roughest neck around. He got the power in his hands to pull the dragons from the ground.
That song is practically the anthem of the oil patch, a tribute to the people who built modern Alberta with their hands and their backs. People like my dad and just about every single man in my entire family. People who sacrifice the comforts of being at home to work in forbidding conditions, to earn a living, to give us something we all need to live comfortably. The line that always stuck with me is the one where he says, "The rig hand brings the power to the people." And that's exactly what Alberta's resource workers do.
He brings the power to the people.
In oil, in gas, and in coal, all of it powers the modern world. So imagine my surprise, shock actually, when the man who wrote that song, Corb Lund, launched a campaign opposing coal development in Alberta. And look, I want to be clear about something. I've seen Corb Lund in concert many times. Bought the merch. I almost never miss a Corb Lund concert if I can get to one. I'm a huge fan. And honestly, if all of my musical tastes had to perfectly align with my political views, my playlist would be shrinking. Most of us don't listen to music that way anyway. We listen to songs that feel true to us. And for me, because they tell the story of where I come from. And Corb Lund has always done that for Alberta, which is why this whole thing makes me a little sad. Because the man who wrote the anthem of the oil patch, a song celebrating the grit and sacrifice of the people who power this province and sung in the language of our people, is now repeating some of the same garbage environmentalist talking points that were used to try to shut down the oil patch itself and all the good, well-paying jobs that go along with it. It was an attack on the roughnecks, the welders, the truck drivers, and now we're seeing an attack on the miners, the folks who wake up at 4 a.m. just to keep the lights on. I can't square that, and I won't abide the lies. Because the truth about coal in Alberta is very different from what people are hearing right now. First, not all coal is the same. The coal being discussed in Alberta's eastern slopes isn't coal for power plants. It's metallurgical coal, steel-making coal. It's for bridges, hospitals, railways, transmission lines, defense equipment, wind turbines, solar farms, electric vehicles even. And steel at any meaningful industrial scale cannot be produced without, that's right, metallurgical coal. Countries around the world understand this. The United States, the European Union, South Africa, and New Zealand have all recognized metallurgical coal as a strategic resource tied directly to infrastructure and national security. Because if you don't control the materials needed to make steel, you don't control your industrial future. And Alberta happens to have some of the best undeveloped metallurgical coal deposits in the entire world. It's an opportunity. But the conversation around coal mining in Alberta has been flooded with misinformation about a lack of oversight and, of course, polluted water. What a lot of people picture when they hear coal mining comes from images of mines that operate under completely different environmental rules than those here in Alberta. Modern mining in Alberta operates under strict regulatory oversight. Projects are monitored constantly by the Alberta Energy Regulator, which enforces environmental standards covering water, land, air quality, and reclamation. Companies are required to post financial security to guarantee that mines are reclaimed when operations end. So cleanup isn't optional, It's mandatory and paid for in advance by the company. And there's another key detail that often gets lost in the debate. Not all mining is the same. Some new proposed coal projects in Alberta are underground mines, not large open pit surface operations. That means a much smaller surface footprint and dramatically less disturbance compared to other mining methods that you might picture in your head. Technology evolves, regulations evolve to follow the technology, and responsible resource development evolves too. But beyond all the technical arguments, there's something even more important that gets forgotten in this debate. The people, coal miners, heavy equipment operators, tradespeople, truck drivers. These aren't the villains. They're the heroes trying to feed their families. These are the workers who build a modern Alberta. They're the people who build the schools, the roads, the hospitals, the communities we all live in today. The jobs created by responsible coal development are good jobs, high-paying jobs, jobs that support families in communities like Grand Cache, Hinton, and the Crow's Nest Pass. Jobs that keep our small towns alive. And the product those workers produce, it's not something obsolete from a bygone era. Metallurgical coal is a resource the world still needs because the world needs steel. So let's be clear about what this campaign, my campaign, is actually about. It isn't about attacking musicians I like Corb Lund, this disagreement aside. And it isn't about pretending there are no environmental standards in Alberta. We have some of the highest environmental standards in the world. This is about standing up for Alberta workers and Alberta resources. They are the best in the world, and Albertans should not be ashamed of what we have. Because the people who love songs like The Roughest Neck Around understand something that sometimes gets forgotten in these debates. The men and women working in Alberta's resource industries don't just produce energy. They produce materials that build civilization. So the choice here isn't between environment and economy. The real choice here is between facts and fear. And around here, we choose the facts. If the world still needs the resources we produce, and boy does it ever, then Alberta should be proud to provide them. Alberta digs coal. If you agree with me, add your name to the list of people standing up for well-paying resource jobs in the Eastern Slopes. Please go to albertadigscoal.com. To fight this environmentalist disinformation campaign attacking well-paying resource jobs in Alberta's Eastern Slopes, please go to albertadigscoal.com.